I came out west from Cleveland with dreams of getting rich, but I never made Nevada line before I made the switch. I got stuck in the gateway like being caught midstream. Now funny rocks and great big gals constitute my dreams. Utah, gateway to Nevada. I'm bored, but what the heck's it matter? Who cares about winning big in Vegas when you have to pay your 10%? Utah, gateway to Nevada. Not as cool as Colorado. The beer here gives you stronger bladders, and once a week you get to repent. I never had no siblings, now I call my neighbors bro. When we sit down to marshmallows mixed in green jello. If the fallout doesn't get you, then the nerve gas probably will. But I've been baptized for the dead, and so I rarely kill. Utah, gateway to Nevada. I'm bored, but what the heck's it matter? Who cares about winning big in Vegas when you get to work on a steak farm? Utah, gateway to Nevada. Not as cool as Colorado. The beer here gives you stronger bladders, but you got to drink behind the barn. Utah, gateway to Nevada. Not as cool as Colorado. The beer here gives you stronger bladders, but you got to drink behind the barn. Come unfold a chair, pull up a b-ball, and here tell a story about Gordy, Utah. He come out from Perry with the latest hair fashions to braid the long locks of the braves and their squaws. Before he was established, along come Jim Bridger, looking for beavers in a warm place to lay. Up with Gordy till he learned his intentions, which just weren't his style, so he went away. Come back, picture bar, rendezvous with me. You can track my body, and I'll trim your face for free. Well, you can imagine how bad Gordy felt when them pioneers come over It's fun talking dirty to big burly trappers, but they rarely, if ever, will be compromised. We sailed here from far away, 'cause many tales are told about a city sunken here and an angel made of gold. They say that Brigham's statue leads a lonely vigil there, watching oars he CMIs watch a damaged ware. Way hey me hearties, on Bonneville we're bound. We'll sail to Salt Lake City and send the divers down. Trolling from Moroni, she's a big lake and she's deep. They say beneath the pounding waves the beehive state's asleep. We sailed out from Port Heber, past Timpanogos Isle. We reassured the crew it was another 50 miles. The lake effect was in effect as we entered downtown Bay. We anchored on the temple grounds and the men commenced to pray. Save us from Moroni's curse, Captain, won't you please? They fell upon the filthy decks and groveled at his knees. Buck up, me hearties, Moroni isn't real. He's just a golden idol that we have come to steal. Well, it took 3 days of painful work to raise him up on deck. We hooked him with a cable and we dragged him by the neck. The first words from Moroni's mouth made the brave men fear. They frantically dove overboard as if afraid to hear. We trolled for Moroni, for treasure we were bound, but nothing that we'd heard before prepared us for the sound. When the golden angel leapt upon the men, he left but one survivor to tell the tale again. Moroni is back atop the temple in the square, and it won't be soon before another dares invade his lair. And the words that come from his gold lips that strike you to the core. What do you know about the church? Would you like to know more? We trolled for Moroni, for treasure we were bound. We sailed to Salt Lake City and sent the divers down. Trolling for Moroni, she's a big lake and she's deep. They say beneath the pounding waves the beehive state's asleep. Like a phony, he sips on his beers and bears a sad testimony. He hates all his neighbors and he's not alone, 'cause he's got this neurosis that he's never outgrown. Raised up in Provo where pride is cheap, he finally decided all his buddies were sheep. He started smoking and drinking and hanging at bars. He grew out his hair and started playing guitars. And hey, Jack, the sheep that went black, you better get on back to the fold. Face facts, you'll have to backtrack when being Jack Mormon gets old. Married a girl who wasn't uptight. They smoked pot together and they thought they were bright. They shopped at the Cosmic when they went to town, and they bought beads and bells and they wore them around. After 2 years on acid, they had them some kids. Since they're now school-age, Jack's life's on the skids. She's taken to flushing his dope down the John, and she wants to get sealed for you're gonna come back, you better come on back to the fold. You know, Jack, you're gonna slide back when being Jack Mormon gets old. Caught between praying and running around, he sits in the bar and he puts Mormons down. Those dumb sons of bitches, why aren't they like me? How can they believe that they're really happy? Takes them 10 minutes to mumble these lines, and you can't help agreeing for the 20th time, but you wish that he'd listen to your sharp reply.